Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel if you are new, where everyone is welcome, and welcome back if you are a returner. This month's plan with me is cloud themed. I was kind of inspired by the old quote that's like April showers brings May flowers. That's kind of a hint. I mean, you can kind of guess what next month's theme will be for May from that. But I was just really inspired by this one. I couldn't get out of my head, and so I hopped on Pinterest and just looked up so many pictures of the sky and clouds. So some were stormy, some had hints of yellow and pink, and some were very pastel and beautiful, and some were calm, some were, a little more stormy. And so I just was inspired by that, and here for the cover page you can see I'm using paint. I'm using acrylic because I wanted a really solid, opaque, bright, vibrant colors. I do thin out some of the paint with water, just a little bit, not quite to where it's a watercolor texture, but for some of the clouds I wanted to make them look more sheer and a little more misty. So here for the cover page you can see I taped out with my washi tape. I taped out a border because I wanted it to be very crisp and clean and almost like a picture frame. And I'm taking up both sides of the pages here, and I'm just really going in with the clouds. This first page is very blue, it's very bright. It's a sunny day. So there's lots of yellow, vibrant colors. The blues are very saturated, and I just loved all of the colors with this. This one was kind of fun because I was looking at reference pictures, like I said, from Pinterest for the first few, but the more I went on with the spread, the easier it became to just kind of paint it organically without using something as a reference. So that was pretty fun to kind of paint so many clouds that I think I could just do it and paint a cloudscape without even looking at anything. So that was really fun. So the clouds have really organic shapes. Some are a little more full, some are a little more like longwise. But I do add in hints of gray here because I didn't want it to be too bright and sunny. But using all kinds of colors, it's really coming together. I had a lot of fun doing this one. I was watching an old Disney movie. It was called Prom. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but it was like a movie when I was younger that I loved, and so I was watching that in the background. I always turn on movies or some kind of show as I'm doing these, and it's just really relaxing. And you can see at the beginning that I had a cup of coffee as well. So I was really in my element. I was having a good time and just really making this spread come to life. I was having a great time. This spread was really fun to do. It was one that I didn't even find myself getting like exhausted by the end of this, or kind of wishing like, I wish I could hurry up and be done with this so I could move on. I was really just enjoying it. But here you can see clouds are fun because you add in, like, this is a really deep color and you can add in lots of layers and kind of shading elements, and then you can go in with lighter colors and add the highlights. And so I hope everyone enjoys this. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of a longer video than normal for me because the painting does take up a little bit more time. And like I said, I was just having a great time. And so I really took my time with this and was just like, I just zoned out and just kept painting. So hopefully you guys like this spread. Next month's spread, flowers, that will be, I won't tell you what kind of flowers, but that should be really neat. And here I am taking up the washi tape. I don't know if you can see, but little pieces of paper kind of peeled up from the washi tape, which is something I was afraid of. But I was like, I've seen so many videos of people using washi tape like that and it just comes off in a crisp, clean line, but that wasn't the case for me. So it peeled up in the back, but anything that peeled up, I just kind of took some good old-fashioned Elmer's glue and glued it back down. Moving on to the calendar. This month I switched up the layout of my spread, especially for the calendar. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that normally On the left hand side of the page is my calendar. I keep it pretty small, and then on the right hand side is my habit tracker. But this month I had an idea for a new spread, something that I was very excited about because I wanted to add in more journal elements. But yes, there's a habit tracker, but other than that it's really just a planner, which is absolutely fine. But I wanted to add something simple, that way I knew I would do it, because if it's too much, like a mood tracker, I'm not gonna do it. I have enough, the habit tracker is enough for me, but I wanted a more journal element. So you'll see on the next page that I implement that. So on this page, we do have a big calendar. I'm gonna see how I like it. Like I've said 1,000 times in previous videos, I normally keep my calendar pretty small because I write out detailed daily to-do lists on my weekly spreads, and that's really where I put everything. I don't use my calendar very much, but actually I had a couple of events going on. It's my sister's birthday this month, and also Easter, whether or not you're religious or celebrate, but we are meeting my family in a cabin, and that's kind of what we're doing over the break. And we're gonna have like this epic adult Easter egg hunt, which I am literally so thrilled about. Can't be more excited. I love Easter egg hunts and scavenger hunts and things like that. And we're also taking our dogs because it's pet friendly, and we're gonna go hiking several days, so it's just gonna be a really peaceful time. So I had a lot going on that I could put and track in the calendar, so it worked out for this month, but we will see how it fares for other months. But hopefully you like the colors for this one. I don't know if this is my favorite one, like favorite color wise of the spreads for April, but I really enjoyed adding those little I guess it's more of a salmon color, kind of orangey pinky color. The colors in this one were just beautiful, and you can see that for the calendar, instead of doing boxes or squaring everything off, I just kept it in a nice linear line, pretty straight, might I add, for not using a ruler. I can't be bothered to use a ruler. Sometimes I think I should because I know it would look better, but I can't be bothered. And here I added in just a little baby cloud at the top because it felt kind of bare. It just kind of needed a little baby cloud. But again, adding in more of those orangey colors, and hopefully you can start to see that it's looking a little more cloudy, a little more stormy, like a storm's trying to roll in, because I did kind of want to make it a little bit darker each spread, and then one until the weekly spread, which you'll see is very dark, very gray, very stormy looking. And you can see here that the sky is slowly turning gray, and so hopefully that was kind of the idea. And then near the end, it like comes into this really bright pastel clouds if the storm is past, and it's a bright pastel-y sky. So that was kind of the idea. I hope it comes across. But here we are moving on to the habit trackers. I decided to go back to the calendar layout for the tracker. Last month I did a horizontal one, which was fine, but I kind of just wanted to go back to the calendar, so that's what we went back to. Again, adding in just more clouds around, and this is when I really started to just kind of wing it. I was very familiar with how the clouds looked at this point, and so I really just went in, added lots of fluffy clouds everywhere. And yeah, again, it gets grayer, it gets darker, more stormy, and so I really like that. But we're tracking the same habits we always do, bedtime routine, working out, taking our vitamins, making sure we're drinking water, reading every day, and doing some sort of cleaning task. It just kind of keeps me on track, especially because I'm at home a lot. But yeah, it's been very nice. But here again, getting darker, adding in blues, and here I am adding in some grays. But yeah, on the right there, you'll see the new spread. I'll go ahead and talk about it. Like I said previously, I wanted something more journaly, something that could really just help me, mental health wise, everyday wise, just remind me of like what I do have. I mean, there's a ton going on in the world right now, which, I'm not gonna get into here on this platform, but it's really just, it's overwhelming, and it's, you know, disheartening, and it can really make someone depressed, you know, and I'm really getting their emotions. But the spread on the right it's basically a highlight of my day to remind me of like goodness in the world and things that I have, and it's really just good for me to keep track of those kinds of things. Just short, one sentence every single day. Some people call it highlight of the day. I call it April bests. I thought that was kind of neat because it was like the best part of my day. Something great that happened in my day that I just want to jot down, even if it's just something simple like it was a nice rainy day because I love the rain. So even if something as simple as that, or something like, you know, I got to go hiking, or so just something really nice for the day. I thought that would be really great to implement. And so yeah, we just have one line for every single day, but you can see here I am adding in more clouds. Again, the bottom corner just seemed a little bare, so I added in some baby clouds, and then I kept it pretty bare for obviously where I'm going to be writing everything. I kind of wish I had taken the time to do the washi tape around this border as well, but I'm just keeping it real. I couldn't be bothered. That's just the truth of it. But here we are outlining everything for our habit trackers, and then we're going to go in and number each day by day, have a title, and that's going to wrap this spread up. Alright, moving on to the first weekly spread. I did include all of them. I didn't get to do a weekly spread video, like a separate video for those weekly spreads last month, because unfortunately something very serious, very sad came up emergency wise, so I just decided not to even like worry about it. There, you know, more important things were going on at the time. But so for this one I included both. We have a standard layout here, and then the next page is kind of what is it called? Is it called a Dutch door? I think so. Anyway, you can see here, this is when it really gets dark. This is when I imagined the storm came, the clouds rolled in, they turned gray, everything turned dark, and you know, the rain just started pouring out, maybe the thunder started coming. But yeah, this one was really fun for me. I love a good storm. Obviously not one that's too scary and like detrimental things happen, but like a good light storm or good rain. I just sleep so well. Is anyone else like that? But yeah, we're adding in details, a little more darker colors, and this is something, again, maybe I should have taken the washi tape, because you'll see some of the paint just kind of bleeds into the weeks. But it's okay, you know, everything, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just it's just my bullet journal. It's for me. I often get a little too critiquey, but you know what? There are no, as Bob Ross would say, there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. But I do apologize if that triggers some people. You can see where it kind of bled into the week below, but it's okay. Moving on, we're keeping it simple again. Everything's pretty bare for the days of the week. Plenty of space to write out my to-do list. I'm pretty much type A, I would say. I write out my to-do list. I stick to them for the most part. My lines got a little wobbly there, but again, it's okay. We're not gonna beat ourselves up about it. But here we are, and moving on to the last weekly spread. I really think it's called a Dutch door. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just cutting out all of these so it'll include all the rest of the week, the weeks, I guess I should say, for the rest of April. And this is on the top when I decided the storm had passed, the clouds, you know, the sun came back out and everything was just beautiful and pastel. So I'm using really light blues. I go in with some bright yellows, lots of pink, you'll see here, and it almost looks like a cotton candy sky. And it's just so beautiful. This is why I couldn't decide which one was my favorite, because this one is so beautiful aesthetically, painting wise, but then like the cover page is more sunny and then there's the cloudy sky, so it just depends. But you can see here I go in pretty hard with solid pink colors, like the clouds are pink, the sky is cotton candy, and then yeah, below we have the rest of the days of the week, and you can flip the pages back and forth, so it's still the same scenescape up at the top. So here we are, just finishing everything off, writing down the rest of the numbers, erasing any stray pencil marks, and then that is gonna be it. Here we are on the final flip through. I hope you enjoyed this spread as much as me. I really tapped into my creativity and just had such a great time making it, but that is it. As always, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next month. In the